This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, August the 22nd. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. Very quickly, I thought I'd like to show the picture of Danny out in the tropical Atlantic from yesterday. This was from yesterday afternoon, around 17 Z, and showing just how small Danny is. Danny is a very tight storm. We'll talk more about Danny in just a minute. The surface map this morning features high pressure over the eastern Great Lakes, and it's making its influence felt down all the way down into eastern Texas. In the upper atmosphere, we're switching from a ridge in the east to a trough in the east. We'll be seeing a trough develop on the models here, and that will help to usher in some drier and cooler air later on into next week. This morning, temperatures across central Alabama generally in the lower 70s, a little bit cooler in the Tennessee River Valley where they're in the or near the 70-degree mark. And radar not too busy this morning. We do have a few echoes around, and especially to our west across the Mid-South area. The watch warning map is not too busy this morning. Those pink areas you see are high fire danger, and the rest of those have to do with wind advisories, so a little windy up there in the north-central United States. QPF-wise, quantitative precipitation forecast, it looks like over much of the southeastern U.S. and Alabama and Mississippi, we're going to be seeing on the order of 3/4 of an inch of rain or so over the next 5 days, most of that coming over the next couple of days. And the Storm Prediction Center is outlooking an enhanced risk of severe weather with all modes of severe weather a possibility, stretching from parts of Minnesota down across Iowa and almost into extreme northeastern Kansas. And then that enhanced risk area is surrounded by a slight risk area. For day 2, there's no slight risk specifically, but there is a marginal risk over the Ohio River Valley extending up into the eastern Great Lakes. And for day 3, Monday, it looks like we're in great shape with just thunderstorms possible across the U.S. Now, let's get to the tropics. There's Danny, and also we have a couple of other developing areas. One just to the south of Bermuda, which is probably not going to develop into much of anything. And then another area just off the African coast and a little bit south of the Cape Verde Islands, and that one could develop into something with time. Let's get right to Danny. There's a picture of Danny this morning, and Danny continues to be a very tight storm, very compact. And the National Hurricane Center's official forecast, it is likely to remain a hurricane for the rest of today and into early Sunday morning. And then as it gets closer to the Lesser Antilles or the Leeward Islands, it will drop back to a tropical storm strength and should be a tropical storm as it approaches Puerto Rico. And after it passes the Dominican Republic, with those tall mountains in there, it may be downgraded to a depression. We'll have to see. I don't know. Danny's been a tight storm all the way along. I'm not sure I'm ready to count Danny out just yet, but we'll certainly be watching. The other thing that we need to look about is that Danny is entering an area where there's some shear, and This is a look at the wind shear forecast, and it's certainly moving into an area where it's going to be seeing more shear, so that's why it may not develop into anything. All right, let's get to the 06 CGFS model run this morning, and there's the surface map, and we're kind of in the soup down here with moist air and no real fronts to deal with in the upper atmosphere. We have a weakness that's coming across the mid-Mississippi River Valley, and once again, that may be enough to help set off a few showers. That trough digs in a little bit stronger into the Mississippi River Valley on Sunday, and as it does, we see that there's a surface low moves up into and just to the north of the western Great Lakes area with a cold front that is trailing back down across Chicago and down into the Texas Panhandle. So it looks like it's going to stay pretty active for us. And we noticed that on the precipitable water forecast, that the precipitable water forecast stays pretty high for today, and it drops off a little bit on Sunday. So that may mean we'll have a few less showers. However, there's still a good deal of moisture around. By the time we get out to Monday, that trough is coming into, the closed low is coming into the western Great Lakes, and the overall trough is digging a little sharper. So that's going to be bringing us some drier air, and we can see that drier air, excuse me, on the map for the 24th, Monday, and we can see the front delineated very well there, moving through the Great Lakes. Tuesday, we see that the trough is still continuing to dig in a little bit in response to the ridge developing to our west, and so we should dry out some on Tuesday as the precipitable water drops substantially. Look at that. I mean, we're the only real soup is down around Louisiana and New Orleans. So it looks like we should dry out Tuesday. So look for some lowered humidities on that day. It's going to feel nice. Wednesday, the trough has dug in nicely. So it looks like Wednesday could be one of our cooler days. And certainly we see the heights fall. But in addition to that, we're going to be getting dew points dropping down. The trough stays with us into Thursday. And Friday, it's beginning to weaken as it's moving out. But it's still there even on Saturday. So we have a weak trough, and it looks like we're probably not going to see good moisture return through Saturday. So it looks like we could have a good period of dry weather for the end of the week. And certainly looking at the GFS ensemble temperature forecast, it's certainly going to be nice there Wednesday and Thursday in the mid 80s or lower 80s. So that will be nice, and a few spots getting into the 50s. Looking out into Voodoo country, the GFS has a really complex pattern around the 31st with both a trough over the lower Mississippi River Valley and a ridge over the Four Corners area. So I don't know. You just pick a showers or no showers. And then when we get out to the end of the period, it looks like we transition into a bit of a ridge over the eastern half of the country. So the warm weather's not gone completely. And then we do have a trough coming into the Four Corners area. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. I expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. In the meantime, remember you can stay tuned to the blog for later updates on Alabama's ever-changing weather pattern. I hope that you have a great day. Godspeed.